So this is where Trackman wins over everything. So we get all the data where we can measure our shaft lean. If I take my 7.9 here, it has a loft of 27 degrees. If I tap in dynamic loft here, that panel's now highlighted for when I'm practicing. It tells me the impact that my loft of the club was actually just shy of 20 degrees. So I had 7 degrees of shaft lean. I'm very happy with that. That's the first panel I test. The second panel that I press is the launch angle. And this is some great maths for us here now. If the loft of this club is 27 degrees, the launch angle should be roughly 2/3 of that number. So it should be around about 18. So to emphasize the point here, I've got a lot of shaft angle lean on the club. So that's come down to 15. So when you are practicing, if you put those two panels up, dynamic loft will tell you exactly what the club loft was at impact, to 1/10 of a degree. And the launch angle should be 2/3 of your loft angle. And you can check that online by looking at the specifications of the brand of club that you've got. I then made a point about saying the face to path. It's very easy when you do shaft lean to get those two numbers great, but the club face will be open. So you're always looking for that club face to path angle to be a minus number. I'm super happy with that, 1/5 of 1 degree. And if I go slightly out of sequence, I'd say, what is my path? My path was pretty square, but not too bad. But those are the three things I'd be looking at if I was working very hard on shaft lean. The final point is how far after the ball do we make contact with the ground? And on this one here, it's 4.5 inches. The whole point about shaft lean is you make contact with the ball first, the ball will fly powerfully, and then you take your divot after the ball. In this case here, 4.5 inches after the ball. So I load up my Trackman in the sequence I want to see my data. So I suggest you do the same thing. Start with dynamic loft. I then went on to launch angle. So it's telling what the club and the ball did. And then I want to know about with my club face square and then how far after the ball I hit it. Now it's really key that you don't do this with the driver. I had a chap in this morning saying, I'm trying to get shaft lean, but I can't hit my driver at all. The problem with the driver is if it's only got 10 degrees of loft on, if you lean that club shaft forwards, your dynamic loft becomes 6 or 7 and the ball will go along the ground. The pros want the club shaft either vertical to show the true loft of the club, or they hit it slightly on the ascent. So the driver is very different to the rest of the clubs in the bag when it comes to shaft lean.